Valley Club. There's a lot of ways to play and enjoy Marvel Strike Force, but if you want to get your account as far as possible, as fast as possible, then you definitely want to avoid these mistakes. We're going to count down the 10 biggest mistakes that you can make in Marvel Strike Force, and if you're ready for this list, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button, and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope you're ready to get super efficient in Marvel Strike Force. We're going to count down the 10 biggest mistakes that you can make as a Marvel Strike Force player. But before we get to the official list, I do want to mention what I think is probably the biggest mistake, and that is not following the ValleyFlyin channel. Yes, if you're a serious Marvel Strike Force player, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell as well, so you know as soon as a brand new video goes up on this channel. We've had at least 5 videos with the latest tips, tricks. We got the latest promo codes, news, and everything in Marvel Strike Force, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. But without further ado, let's get to the rest of this top 10, starting with what I think is the biggest mistake, and that is not logging in every day. I know sometimes life gets in the way. Life is more important than a game, but if you can, make sure you log in every day to at least keep this streak. There are some daily objectives that we're going to talk about and some resources that you get just from doing some daily activity, but one of the big things is this streak. You get this from logging in every day. They do have some of these streaks that they give out just as bonuses for when they do updates, things like that. But it gives you the option to do some raid sim. Also gives you your just daily objectives. Some of them just auto claim, like your heroes missions, your villains missions, your arena battles, other things. Just getting these free rewards and then these streak milestones as well. But as far as these daily objectives, and unfortunately I claimed a lot of these already, it just kind of reminds you to do some of the daily activity in Marvel Strike Force. And a lot of the resources that you're get from this game is just from logging in every day and doing your daily things, claiming your milestones, getting these daily objectives. And the current milestone that we have going on right now does have rewards for doing all of your daily objectives. When you have all that, it does reward you some points. So this is what I think is one of the most important things, just making sure that you got to log into your account every single day. Next big mistake I think you can make in Marvel Strike Force is not linking your Marvel Strike Force game account to the MarvelStrikeForce.com website. Very important, because there's a lot of cool stuff that you get from that, a lot of free resources. And the way you do that is you go in game, you go to your options, and you go to this section right here, has all the instructions on how to link your game account to your MarvelStrikeForce.com web account. You do need to sign up for that. When you link your account correctly, it will go to this page. It will have all this information, it'll have all your characters there, it'll have your roster, your stats, and it will allow you to plan for Dark Dimension and use your save squads on the web, which I think is a little easier to build your save squads with that. Now, all that stuff is good, gives you a lot of great user interface on the website, but it also gives you some free stuff. On the web store every single day, there are a bunch of free claims. I already claimed mine for today, but at server reset, there will be some more there, and it gives you a bunch of free resources in the game. Once in a while, there are these chain offers that start with free offers, and if you don't have your account linked to the website and a web store, you're not able to get any of these. So that is some free resources you're getting from the web store. You're getting them on a daily basis. You also have these web milestones, and you have a bunch of free stuff here just by spending energy or spending power cores on a daily basis. You're getting free energy, free ISO 8 energy. There are some milestones that go on once in a while that give you free stuff. In this case, right now, there's an Absolute A-Force milestone going on right now. And there are also web milestones that tie into the main milestone event, into the main month-long milestone event. They used to be tied to the milestone event that's going on in the game. The past couple weeks, they haven't, so I think that's a good thing. But lots of free stuff that you get from claiming these milestones in the store. And what they just added was these Twitch drops, which means that if you are someone that wants to watch Twitch, there's also some free stuff that you get from watching Twitch as well. But you do need to have your account linked to MarvelStrikeForce.com, and that account needs to be the same email that you're using for your Twitch account as well. The other thing that you're going to be able to do once your account is linked is looking for an alliance or recruiting for your alliance if you are an alliance leader. Now, the best place that you used to be able to find alliances was on Discord or Facebook or just for some internet groups. Well, now that they have your account, all your account info tied to the website, well, it's very easy to search for a web. You can search for an alliance on the website. You have this, and you can search for different languages that match your language, your playstyle. And I think this is very important because one of the big mistakes that you can make is joining an alliance that doesn't match your in-game in. So if you're a casual player, you probably want to be matched up in an alliance with other casual players. If you're very competitive, you want to play with some other hardcore players. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it's probably best to play with alliance members that are around the same engagement level as you, because I've been in alliances that I was way more engaged and it wasn't fun. I've been in alliances that I was less engaged than the rest of the alliance. It wasn't fun for them. And I've been in alliances that were about the same, and that is usually the best instance. So that is a good thing. Make sure that you are in an alliance that matches your engagement style. And if you do have your account linked, it's going to be very easy to search for alliance and to recruit for your alliance as well. Let's jump back in the game because I want to talk about these milestones, because I think one of the big mistakes that you can make in Marvel Strike Force is trying to chase every single milestone. In some games, you could get all the milestones that are out there and complete all your objectives. In some games, you're not Marvel Strike Force is one of those that you can't complete everything. Now, there are certain milestones that you can complete everything, like this Lalandra milestone. At the end of this, there's 39 more days of this milestone. At the end of that, all players, if you're highly engaged, should be able to complete all of these milestones. But then we have other milestones like this 4 Liberty milestone, which is based on how many red star or how many stars you have on your Liberty team. And if you have not spent a bunch of money to get this Liberty team, you're not completing all of these milestones. So some of these milestones are meant for everybody. Some are just meant for certain players, like this milestone we have going on right now is meant for all players, so it should be pretty easy to get some of these. But of course, this origin story milestone, again, you can get, if you look at these limits here, 95,000 is the limit. You are able to get to milestone 17, but anything after that, not able to complete these without spending money or jumping through some extra hoops. So yeah, one of the big mistakes, chasing all the milestones. There are some that you should chase, but there are some that are just meant for spenders. Now let's talk about energy usage, because one of the mistakes that I often make in Marvel Strike Force is letting this energy top off. And what I mean by that, there is a limit right now in my account, 150 campaign energy. Well, once it gets to that 150 campaign energy, it's gonna stop refreshing. So letting your energy top off is a mistake, but where to use your energy is also a very important thing. So as far as campaign energy, what I think you should be doing with your campaign energy as a new player is just trying to get through all the campaigns. As a mid-game player, you're probably farming certain characters or certain parts of gear, but as an end-game player, not a lot to farm in these campaigns. So what I would recommend, and a big mistake if you're not doing this, is farm your gold and your training mats. Now the gold is on your hard heroes. You have it on hard heroes 7-6. You have it on, I believe, 5-6 with the Echo node right here. There's some gold orb fragments there, and 4-6. That is where you're gonna get some gold orb fragments. You also have some gold orb fragments on the Nexus campaigns, and these are the even Nexus campaigns. So 6-9, you have some gold orb fragments there. 4-9, you have gold orb fragments there, and 2-9, you have gold orb fragments there. As far as training mats, your odd numbers have your training mat fragments as well. So you have 1-9, 3-9 training mat fragments, and then you have your 5-9 as well. You also have training mats on your hard villain campaigns, and this is gonna be on 7-6. I believe this is gonna be 6-6, the Viv Vision node, and then 4-6 is where you also have those training mats. So energy usage, make sure you're using your energy very efficiently. Make sure you don't let it top off. I do that all the time. That's not a huge mistake, but make sure you're using your energy in the right place. And for me, as a late game player, I think the best place to use it is for your campaign energy, at least, is to get those gold and training mats. Next big mistake is kind of tied to energy usage. It's about wasting power cores. And every single game that I play always has a premium currency. And the big question is, what is the most efficient use of that premium currency? In Marvel Strike Force, the premium currency is power cores. They also added these ultra cores there, but for use in the game, it is these power cores. And where is the best use of these power cores in Marvel Strike Force? Well, we talked about energy usage. So for me, it's these campaign nodes, the campaign energy. Sometimes the ISO 8 energy, if there's a event going on, don't really refresh this incursion energy, but I do make sure I spend that every single day. Now, sometimes you may want to refresh the energy for some of these campaigns. There is an Illuminati campaign going on right now. It has some Captain Britain orb fragments in there, and if you need some Captain Britain orb fragments, that may be a place to use your power cores. Also, these showcase events, you may be liking the rewards from some of those showcase events, or maybe you needed to complete some milestones for that. So you may want to spend your power cores there. But mostly I'm spending in campaign and incursion energy. That's the place that I spend the power cores the most. Other place that you may want to spend it is on the shops. However, there is a risk of spending power cores and getting nothing in return. So it is a risk here, but sometimes there are some things that you need in the shop right away. You might want to refresh that. That may be a good use. Normally that's not a good use, but in certain cases it might be. And the last case is for certain characters. Now, each character that comes out, each normal character, there are sometimes epic characters and mythic characters, things like that, that don't have an orb, but all the normal characters do have an orb, 675 power cores. And if we take a look at this, or for example, it has a range of shards that you get, 6 to 180. Normally that drop rate is for that 6. It has a 46% drop rate to get that 6, and a very low drop rate, 0.13% to get that 180. Most of the character shards, if not all, have a similar drop rate to this orb. So it's not a very good drop rate, but sometimes you've hoarded your cores enough. You have a big stockpile of these cores. You have maybe over 10,000 of these just because you've been winning an arena and not really spending them. Well, maybe there's a certain character that you may want to spend on and you've hoarded your orbs. That is another good place. So in my opinion, the best place to use cores is to refresh energy. Certain characters that you may want to core their orb, just get that character for free. And then very limited use cases. This is applicable in certain cases, but most of the time not. You may want to do some store refreshes. And if we look at these stores, we have a large stockpile of these red dots, a lot of things that we haven't claimed. That's another mistake, just opening everything right away. This is a game that unfortunately does reward hoarding, so you do want to hoard certain things. What should you open? Well, open the things that you need. So for right now, if we look at my gold orb stockpile, I have a lot of mega gold orbs, a lot of these gold orbs. We have a bunch of training orbs as well. And normally for myself, I don't open these unless I need the gold. And I'm gonna need gold later today, because later today we have Lalandra and Howard Duck coming out. So I'm probably gonna open a lot of these gold orbs. But normally with these orbs, I only open them when I need them. So that is another mistake. If you're not hoarding, you're not playing Marvel Strike Force right. It's not the most fun way to play the game, but the devs do have not updated things in a while. So the hoard certain things. Anything that you don't need, I would just save for a while. These Spotlight Raid orbs are a great example. Every time a character gets introduced to here, they have a minimum drop rate of 5. So these are a lot of characters that you could fully unlock if you just have a big stockpile. So hoard everything that you don't need, only open and use what you need currently. Next big mistake that I've made, and I know a lot of players make, is over-investing in teams. Now, what do I mean by over-investing in teams? Because a lot of these newer teams, you do need to invest into a certain extent, especially with these raid teams. But for example, with these raid teams, once they do what I want, I stop investing in. And for the raids, it's a pretty simple thing. If I could sim that node reliably, I don't need to invest in that raid team anymore. Once I can sim those raids, that team, I don't need them unless I'm also using them in Cosmic Crucible and War, and that's pretty much where you should extend your investment for these teams. If you're really into Cosmic Crucible, invest a little more into Cosmic Crucible teams. If you're more into War, invest more into War teams. For myself, I value Cosmic Crucible a lot more than War. War, our alliance is pretty casual, and our only requirement is just to do our 10 attacks. So I don't really prioritize War teams unless they also have some Cosmic Crucible value. So that is what I'm doing. But invest in the game mode that you enjoy, but don't over-invest in these characters. Set a limit of where you want to take these characters. For myself, Arena goes all the way up. Crucible goes all the way up, but raids just go to that sim level. And then War, I just kind of go with whatever extra resources I have. So set some limits for yourself, know where to stop investing in these teams, and then don't over invest in them. Next mistake you can make in Marvel Strike Force, this is from a character investment perspective, is investing in these older characters. The way a lot of these Hero Collector game works is that the newest characters are always gonna be the best characters because the devs of the game wanna sell the latest and greatest thing, and they stop investing in these older characters. There's no reason to really build up any of these older characters unless they get a rework. This is more of a risk for newer players because as a newer player, you don't have access to as many characters. There are certain teams that you need to build up for legendary events. And this is more of a risk for newer players that don't have access to a lot of the end game characters. Newer players traditionally would invest in teams like the Spider Society for your first hero team, and then a Superior 6 or Sinister 6 for your next villain team. And then hopefully some of these teams have value later on. Spider Society does. Sinister / Superior 6 kind of does right now. They're pretty good in Cosmic Crucible, pretty good in War. But outside of that, once you're done with the early campaigns, getting to some of the early content, you want to try to shift your investment to some of the newer characters because they have the newer stats and they have updated, better kits. So make sure you're investing in newer characters. The older characters, they'll get you through some of the older content. Maybe you're trying to do a legendary or something like that, unlock a legendary event through some of these characters. But outside of that, there's not really a reason to invest in any of these characters anymore. So once you're done with that content, just stop investing in the older characters, invest in newer characters that are currently involved in the meta. And the last mistake I want to discuss is probably the biggest mistake, not just for Marvel Strike Force, but for a lot of mobile games, and that is comparing your account to others. You know, everybody has different lifestyles. Everybody has different time to commit to playing games. Everybody started this game at different times. So if you started this game a long time ago, if you started in the beta before the 7th anniversary even started, well, you're gonna have a larger account. If you started this recently, you're gonna have a less account. Everybody also spends a little differently on this game. And if you are a non-spender trying to compare your account to someone that spends a lot, it's gonna be demoralizing. It's not gonna be very happy. If you look at my account, if you go to my achievements, I've been playing for a long time. I've been playing for 2,572 days as of me recording this. So I've been playing for a long time, and my account is gonna be a lot bigger than someone that's been playing for a year or 2 years, just because of the way that we get resources in Marvel Strike Force. And also, I spend some money. I don't spend a lot of money in this game, so my account is not gonna be as big as someone that spends a lot of money that's been playing for the exact same time as me. But like I said, as long as my account looks better than it did a month ago or 2 months ago, and I can clear more content, I'm happy. And I think in these games that is a lot of FOMO that people try to chase, and that leads to unhappiness and leads to making bad decisions. But if you just be happy with the progress you're making in your account, I think you're gonna have a lot more enjoyment, a lot more fun in the game. And those are what I think are the biggest mistakes that you can make as a player in Marvel Strike Force. But that's just my opinion. There's probably a lot of other things that you may feel belong on this list. And if there are, let me know down in the comments. Hopefully you did get some value from this video. And if you did, leave it a like. And if you want to see what are the hidden gems in Marvel Strike Force right now, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.